Hello, everybody. Well. What do we have here? It's October 14th, 19. Hey, I wish you were in the 1900s, right? God, I'd be a lot younger, wouldn't I? I was going to say 1918. Well, that's 1 year after my mother was born. Okay, it's 2018. How's that? Here we are for your 82nd live chat. Can you believe I've endured this long? My God. Especially given the physical conditions I've been under. Oh my God, I must really like this. Well, I'm just dedicated to you guys. Well, anyway, it's the 14th. It's noon Pacific time, 8 o'clock UK time, and we're here for another live chat. The sun is out. We have had an unprecedented 8 straight days of sunshine with 10 more to come. No rain in October. Whoop-de-doo. Yes, how's the, I'm trying out my new mic. I think the sound should be pretty good. Lazy Eye Ranch, nice to see you. Debbie Thomas, one of my great listeners. Gary Irving. Hiya. Okay. Oh my God. What am I going through? Leslie Margles. Son has been in residential treatment for 2.5 months. For what, my friend? Hi, Douglas and all. Ruth McGowan, nice to see you. The Lent, I'm good to about to get hit at my mom's house, condo due to arguments. Well, how about family therapy? That always helps. Nora, nice to see you. Masood, hello, nice to see you too. Susan Jones, great, sound is good. It's me, Lebanon #1, just changed my name to my real name. Hoo-hoo, I love that name. Joel Sami. One Claire Lee, wow, the health, not so great. Unfortunately, I had another foot infection. I'm going to the infectious disease specialist tomorrow. I think I've been low. Speaking of which, I haven't been really feeling too well. I bragged the other day that I never get sick, and now I'm feeling a little in my throat. So that reminds me, what did one elevator say to the other? Well, what did one elevator say to the other? I think I'm coming down with something. My first joke of the morning, how was it? Virtuous woman, my God, look at all these new people, I mean old people. How's the weather in UK, one Claire Lewin? And guess what? Where's one Claire Lewin? You know what's in here, one Claire Lou? The little lozenges you sent me. Look, whoop! Damn it. Well, there you have it when the top falls off. Anyway, yes, I have the Fisherman's Friends Aniseeds, care of one Claire Lou from England. I've got a ton of them now. Great joke. You like it? Okay, so why was a scarecrow a great neurosurgeon? Well, he was outstanding in his field. Okay, so in a minute I'll tell you another good one. So what are we doing here? Oh, what was the last video I put up? Does anybody remember? It was it was a very popular video. I don't even remember. Okay, let me look at my iPhone and I'll tell you what the last video I posted was a couple of Mondays ago. It's gotten a lot of views. Oh, 3 ways to combat hopelessness. Well, there you have it. My mother used to say I was hopeless, so I'm trying to combat her, or maybe not. So, did any of you see that? That elevator joke is bad on so many levels. Well, good. It's so bad it's good. So, what school of thought to use in your practice? I use. I'm eclectic. I use all schools of thought, CBT, a little bit of psychodynamic, mostly just common sense. I have my color diagram I'll send to anybody who writes to me, the 5 areas of therapeutic self-care. I don't have it at the moment in front of me, but I'll show it to you. Did your sex drive go to 0 when ill? That's a loaded question. What do you mean by ill? Nora Leonita, hey, I love your positive attitude. I should watch more. Thanks for all the jokes. I remember Nora. Bye. You and I have, what's the word? Corresponded together. Lazy Eye Ranch. I wish you'd get my son into residential therapy. He scared me last night. He was growing and arguing with voices from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Oh my God. I'm really sorry you don't have that available. You really should try to move to a city that has more services if you can. I find it happens. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Did any antidepressant cause you to gain weight? Put on 40 pounds with Zoloft. I'm happy and fat right now. Yes, I put on 40 pounds with amitriptyline back in 1997. I weighed 250 when I was cured. I'm about 205 now. Still too heavy, but at least 45 pounds lighter. Jody Go says, hi Douglas, your videos are very inspiring. I'm going through something that feels like my brain is on autopilot. Just numb, scared, been told it's depression or anxiety. You should go get it checked out. But so what about the 3 ways of overcoming hopelessness? Did anybody see that video? Can I talk about it right now with 53 people watching? Okay, so why is hopelessness a bad thing? Can anybody tell me? Well, when you are depressed, right, you're in pain. It's chronic, right? It never stops, right? It's really intense. And the worst thing about it is that it feels like it will never end. It will always be there. You are stuck in eternal hell when you're feeling like when you're in a major depression. So after a while, you say, "Hey, man, well, this is too much. I can't put up with this. I'm out of here. I'm going to check out," because it's not worth dealing with the pain over and over and over again, like Groundhog Day. But the point is, and what your brain isn't telling you, is that this is a temporary situation. It doesn't feel temporary. You believe it's permanent, but it is not, because there is one truth that stands above all other truths on the physical plane, and that is, this too shall pass. Or as the Buddhists say, everything is impermanent on the physical plane. Everything changes. Look at yourself 5 years ago. You are not the same person. I mean, look at the seasons. We have yellow leaves outside my door. All right. So we got a bunch of questions while I was talking about this really important point about, don't feel like it's going to go on forever, because it won't. Things always change. All right, Jody, your videos are inspiring. Oh yeah, so are me. Sometimes in office I feel like real hell. I feel so anxious. I feel completely hopeless. Nothing seems to work. Any suggestions? Yeah, breathe, breathe, breathe. Take a deep breath. Focus on your body. If you're feeling anxious, maybe you can get a prescription for that. Connor, I will admit that weight gain has taken my confidence down a few notches, trying to weigh the benefits. Well, that's the problem with antidepressants. Everything's a cost-benefit analysis. What are you going to get, and what's it going to cost you, right? There's nothing in life that isn't that way. And someone said I'm fat and happy. Well, gaining weight is a small price to pay if you're not suicidal, right? On the other hand, if it's not doing that well for you, the antidepressant, then gaining weight's a big deal. By the way, when I went off the antidepressant, when my godson went off his, we all lost weight. So it's not a permanent thing, but maybe you need it for the time being. Kelly Irving, I didn't know amitriptyline can make you put on weight. I take it, yeah, but I was taking 250 milligrams a day. How much are you taking? I was taking a huge dose. Miss Sarah, hi Douglas. Recently, me and my boyfriend broke up. Since then, I felt hopeless, like nothing matters. Any advice? Yes. Just know that time heals a breakup. I did a video called "The Number One Source of Depression: Breakup." Go join a grief group. Hang out with friends. Be with people, and just try to focus on your life and the good things that you can do. This pain you're feeling about the breakup feels like it will last forever, but it won't. Everybody I know, including myself, has broken up with somebody. Years later, we look back on it, and it's like a bad dream. Nora says, I've been down lately, so I didn't tune in, but sometimes it's a journey. It's important to have positivity. Thanks for reminding me that this too shall pass. AY, 2 years, nothing works. What have you tried, AY? Have you tried TMS? That's a very powerful and helpful and very, very, very benign treatment. Yurkaresh Chiprathi, please tell process to heal from severe anxiety issues and due to childhood abuse and stammering. Wow. Well, you know what? There are specific psychotherapists that deal with that, and there's a very good book about waking from trauma and about healing from trauma. It's called Waking the Tiger. You should go, I don't know what country you are from, but you can probably get this. And the guy's name is Peter Levine, Levine. You should check that book out. It's all about trauma and how to get over it. But you should see somebody, a psychotherapist who specializes in trauma work. That's a specialty, and not everybody knows how to do that. Cody Teague says, how do you deal with anxiety, cringing at past mistakes and stresses throughout the day when they come to mind? You take your mind, you take a deep breath and say, I did the best I could. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to be kind to myself. I have compassion for myself. I did the best I could at that time, and I'm just going to let it go and focus on my goodness. And then again, just focus on something external and try to just give yourself compassion. How am I, says Sid? Well, I'm mixed. I'm emotionally feeling great. Physically, I'm having a lot of challenges here. Rather be fat and happy than skinny and miserable. Okay, one clear. I'll second that. 30 milligrams of what, Kelly, of amitriptyline? That's just for sleep. That's a baby dose. I take 10. Your Kershi Tripathi, medications are going on, but please suggest some natural ways. Well, it's I have 250 videos about natural ways. Exercise, diet, sleep, connection with others, purpose, structure in your life, letting go of old hurts, self-forgiveness. I have, well, Okay, guys, I don't have, I need to get a new copy of this chart. I've given them all away. But over here in my book, I have a color copy of this chart here. I don't know if you can see it, with a circle with the 5 wheels sticking at 5 spokes: physical, self-care, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and lifestyle habits. I've got a full color PDF of that, which I'd gladly send anybody if you simply email me, douglasblock@gmail.com. That's douglasblock@gmail.com. By the way, I just remembered, we have a live chat. We have a super chat button here. Usually during these chats, which take a lot of time and energy, some of you are generous enough to, donate a couple of pounds, 1, 2, someone gave 50. Someone gave actually 100 pounds. A lovely man named David Holden in the UK, and I still owe him a book. I'm trying to figure out how much it costs to send a book overseas, not getting many answers. But this week I'm really going to work on it. Hey, why I was in bertazolamide for 2 years? Well, that's Remron. That's not bad, but I think there are better antidepressants for that. So did I answer your question about natural ways? There are so many natural ways to deal with depression, and they're in my book. Highly recommend it. Everybody who's read this book has really loved it. Healing from Depression, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood, a Body, Mind, and Spirit Recovery Program by Douglas Block. It is in all the bookstores, including Amazon.com and Amazon.com UK. Lazy Eye Ranch says, this week is going to be really tough. My final divorce hearing is on Thursday. My attorney hasn't done much for me except charge me a lot of money. This is all after starting to help, at least. Good for you. And you know what? There is life after divorce. Here in Portland, we have divorce support groups with Meetup, and a lot of my group members have really gotten a lot of benefit from that. So again, you're kind of isolated, but maybe you can join an online group. Ruth McGowan says, yep, my citalopram or Celexa, I put on 3 years ago, 42 pounds, all came off though. Good for you, Ruth. See? Tell the people that even if they're having weight gain as a temporary side effect of antidepressants, if they're feeling better, that's good, because once they get better, the weight will come off. Well, it's time for another joke. So I don't know about you, but I really believe in marriage. Socrates once said that if you're married, you'll be happy. If you're not, you'll be a philosopher. Well, after my marriage, I wrote a bunch of philosophy books. Anyway, so what happened when the dentist married the manicurist? That's interesting. The dentist married the manicurist. Well, it wasn't a really happy marriage because they fought tooth and nail. Don't you like that? That's very clever, I think. This woman from the East Coast sends me these really corny jokes, and I'm trying to remember the 2 others. This is. Tell me if this is funny. I think it's funny. Why? So we're in the fall right now, right? In October. Why did Humpty Dumpty have a great fall? Because he had a terrible summer. I don't know. The contrast really gets me. Okay. What else have we got going? Anybody thought either of those jokes were funny? I thought the one about fighting tooth and nail was quite clever, actually. I just have to figure out how to go ahead and get down here and see the latest comments. Whoops, there you have it. Is it possible to come off of antidepressants in 2 years? Sure. After 5 years, you just have to taper under the auspices of someone who's, qualified mental health professional, ideally a psychiatrist or nurse practitioner. Hey, Honor, nice to see you. Sidal, your video content is good, but the music in the beginning and end of the video tends to haunt the depressed person. Really? Well, maybe we'll change it. Hey, brand new, love your channel. Yeah, well, here, super chat, throw in a donation or 2. That would really help. I do have to pay for these videos to get them edited and put up and all that stuff. Jody Go, can your brain be anxious in your subconscious without you realizing and then go in shutdown mode? Yeah, you should see my video called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. There are 2 circuits of anxiety in the brain. One is the prefrontal cortex, like the conscious mind where you worry and catastrophize. And there's something called the amygdala in the central brain, and it's the sentinel of fear. And that's the part where you have unconscious anxiety. So this is actually my most popular video. And this just shows how many anxious people there are in the world, right? We live in very anxious times, don't we? By the way, I saw a talk on climate control that would get anybody anxious. You know that Miami, Florida is going to be underwater probably by 2040. Anyway, we should take climate control really seriously, climate change. Anyway, How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain is a really good video I made on anxiety. Greetings from Argentina. Your channel helps me a lot. Ah, buenos dias. How long do major episodes last? Son terrible after residential, already 2.5 months. Well, you cannot predict when a major depression, how long they'll be, but we do know this: they're finite, they're temporary, they do come to an end. And nobody has commented on my 2 jokes about Humpty Dumpty and about the dentist and manicurist. I'm heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken. I'm going to have another sip of echinacea tea. That's a Doug Spillett all over yourself. When crippled and paralyzed by anxiety, paranoia, and panic all at once, what can I do to calm down? Wow, pop a Klonopin, which is what I used to do. And if you don't have that drug, I would sit down, cross your arms like this, put your head between your knees, and just do deep breathing. Just try to go into a fetal position and relax yourself, or do a restorative yoga pose. The other thing to do is to hop on your bicycle and climb up Rocky Butte and get so exhausted physically that your anxiety is burned away by your physical activity. So those are the 2 things I found: intense activity and relaxation, deep breathing. Carrie Evering, I might try the proper mind oil. Missed the name of the person who suggested this. Does peppermint oil have any other ingredients in it? No idea. Peppermint oil is usually pretty, pure. But I'll tell you one thing that I have many people will tell me is good for depression. You'll never find it in the medical textbooks, and it's trial and error. But lavender oil. Actually, one of my viewers sent me this. Has anyone ever tried lavender oil for? I laughed. You didn't notice, Susan Jones. I enjoyed all the jokes this morning. All right. Well, someone's giving me building my self-esteem. Serenable. Hey, who's the picture of the man at the door behind you? Many people ask that. Ramana Maharshi, a great saint in India. You should look him up. Anybody who's from Indian background, the country of India, would know this man. One day he just sat down in front of a tree and just went into meditation for years, and they built a temple around him. Very cool person. I'm from India, and I think you also have some photos on your door who looks like the Indian guru. Yeah, that's what I told you. It was Ramana Maharshi, and he is an Indian guru. You're absolutely right. Lavender gives me headaches. See, one man's meat's another man's poison. Try something else. What about, someone said, oh God, you smell, what is this thing? I forget what it is, but I'll try to remember it. I'm on Lexapro for my anxiety and panic attacks and recently started CBT therapy. Lexapro made me feel better, but I'm worried if withdrawals when I stop. But do all people get withdrawal from it? Not necessarily. It's all how you do it. And by the way, don't stop it anytime soon. Give yourself at least a year so you're feeling better, and talk to your psychiatrist about it. But you can withdraw from anything if you go slowly enough. But don't think about that now. Just think about your CBT and that you're feeling better. Whoops, see, lavender oil, Lazy Eye Ranch likes it. You've never heard of Maharishi? Well, he's not Maharishi, he's Ramana Maharshi. There are some of these saints in India, but this guy, look, if you type him in Google, if I can only type his name right, you will see a ton about him. He is extremely well known, and I can't type, so I'm going to try it again. Maharshi. I was introduced to him by Baba Ramdas. Hey Bob, you've published I Still Need Help, I Can't Take It Anymore. I don't know what to say except get yourself to a good psychiatrist or a therapist or healer, but you can get help if you just find the right people. JL999K just wanted to thank you. Been soldiering on for far too long. Your videos and some of the others on YouTube have gotten me making my first appointment this week. Thank you and good luck to everyone. Well, thank you too. You keep us posted. In 2 weeks, I'll be back on the 28th. Let me know how you're doing, JL99K, or you can email me if I can find my email address here, douglasblock@gmail.com. Still waiting for my first Super Chat donation. We are 19 minutes and 43 seconds into the hour. I will be breaking at 50 minutes. I have a 1 o'clock appointment for a young man from the East Coast who's a Boston Red Sox fan. Oh my God, did I say that? I grew up with the New York Yankees, but the Red Sox already deposed the Yankees in the NLCS, but now they're in the finals with Houston, and they lost the first game because Houston's the best team in baseball. The Carp Candidate. Hi from London, Doug. What's your opinion on life after? I've been asking me that question for 52 years. I happen to believe in reincarnation at the moment, so I don't think life ends at the point of death, but how that mechanism works, I don't know. I don't think we go to heaven, in the traditional Christian sense, but I do believe some part of us continues, but I will never know until I die. And if I find out, I'll write all you guys, okay? Carrie, nice to hear from you always. Someone laughed at something. Great. Well, JL99K, keep me posted. First time tuning into streams, Musa Shadafini. I get so many people from the Mideast, or what country are you from? You know, could be anything, Lebanon or Jordan or Iraq. It's great to see you all here. Thank you. What time is it? India? God, you must be at least 19 hours ahead of us. All right. So getting back to my video on Monday, 3 ways to combat helplessness. The first way is to say, this too shall pass, because it's true. The second thing is to think of all of the mythology that talks about death and rebirth, and everything happens in cycles. You remember what the bird song, which they got from Pete Seeger? To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. Oh my God. I always wanted to be Mick Jagger. I guess it wouldn't have worked out. Anyway, did anybody remember that song, Turn, Turn, Turn? To everything there's a season. So a lot of us are in a season of darkness, a season of despair, a season of hopelessness. But guess what? What goes down must come up. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Psalm 126, verse 5. Take that, you hopelessness, you. So yes, look at spring following winter. Look at the myth of Christ, Jesus, right? He died, buried in the tomb, and he rose again. This is all telling us that what goes down must come up. Please believe me. Why? I've had 5 nervous breakdowns. I've been hospitalized 5 times. I've had ECT. I've been so down so long it looks like up to me. I have been screwed over, and here I am still fighting. Okay, can't use Patreon. Do you accept PayPal? Absolutely, Viganis. All you have to do in PayPal is, if you have an account, just say send money to, and then you just use my email address. Yeah, a lot of you guys have contributed during PayPal. Just put friends and family, otherwise they'll take 5% out of your donation. So go ahead and use my Gmail address as the name of the party you send the donation to. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. This is you know, a work of love, but I still have to eat and like everybody else, and pay my bills, and you know, pay my insurance, etc. Okay, Mary Hayes. Hi, Doug. I'm scared of medication. Is there any antidepressants that have less side effects? Well, that's the problem. Everybody reacts differently. Lexapro is supposed to have a low side effect profile, but some people like me had a bad reaction, so you don't really know until you take the darn thing. I think Remeron also, but the key, Marie, is to start small. Okay, if they recommend 10 milligrams of Prozac to start with 5. If they say 10 milligrams of Lexapro, start with 5. Start small, and if you notice any side effects, call your doctor. Sometimes they go away, and if it's overwhelming, just stop. Can I talk about intrusive thoughts? Oh yes, I have them all the time. You numbskull, why did you not go to Europe when you had the full-time ability, when you had an all-expense paid trip? Oh my God, you never should have left New York. Things like that. Actually, I'm glad I left New York. Yeah, I have a video, which is my second most popular video, called How to Stop Intrusive Thoughts, or How to Respond to Them. It is the point. You can't stop them. They're going to come in. It's how you deal with them. So one way is non-resistance. Don't fight them. Don't try to, you know, duke it out with them. Just take a deep breath and watch them pass by like leaves going down a stream or clouds passing overhead. The other thing to do is, if you know someone says, if your intrusive thought says you're a loser, you say, you counter it with an affirmation. Well, not really. I mean, I've done a lot of good things in life, and you just refute it. That, or just let it go, but don't put a lot of energy into it. Scott Bauer, oh my God, one of my oldest viewers. What a loyal person you are. I've just started my private therapy now, finally 2 years after the onset. I finally got tired of waiting on the NHS. Why is the NHS so bad? In America, we don't have public insurance, and we always, you know, look at the UK, free therapy, free, you know, medication. I mean, free seeing a doctor. They have it so much better than us, and yet, according to you, not really. Any tips on depersonalization? Damn, I've never had it happen to me. I just know it's an anxiety disorder, and I've been told that the people in my groups have it, not to fight it, just to kind of just observe it. But if you haven't been to the channel of my friend Noah Thomas, he suffers from it, so he's done a lot of good videos. Big no. Go visit his channel, and he talks a lot. Or just put in depersonalization in YouTube, and you'll see a ton of information on it. It's not going to kill you, and don't, try not to overreact to it. Do you ever listen to Chiptum Chimpa? Nope. Oh, Don Lam is translator. Well, very wise man. Why don't you go ahead and send me a video of his, will you? You know my email address. First time in your live chat, Kurt Sullivan. I like that. Any relationship to Ed Sullivan? Well, thank you, Roxana. 2 pounds. There you go. Stepped right up to the plate. Roxana Sharif. Thank you. I don't know where you're from. Let me know. But thank you for your 2-pound donation. Really appreciate it. Google takes 1/3, but hey, it's a thought that counts. Do you worry about your health? Yes, I do worry about my health. Not my mental health, but my physical health. I've got an infection. Doesn't seem to want to go away. So send me a prayer. Okay, so what's the other good joke? We talked about Humpty Dumpty having a great fall because he had a terrible summer. Oh, what happened when the red ship crashed into the blue ship? They got marooned. Again, from the East Coast. Don't blame me, please. Yeah, what do rain? We haven't had rain in a while, but when we do have rain, what do what do rain clouds wear underneath their clothes? Thunderwear. Don't you love bad puns? Okay, what else is going on here? Curry Low 98. Nice to hear from you. Heavy Nora, seeing you here. Nice. Hey Nora, fancy seeing you here. No relation to Ed Sullivan. Laugh out loud. Do you even know who he is? Do you have to be at least my age? Word about my brain fog? I have brain fog. By the time I get to the top of Rocky Butte after riding 500 feet straight up, I don't have it anymore. Glad you like the joke, Susan Jones. Luis Corrales. Oh my God, you're good. You're good. You always have good questions, Luis. Lazy Eye. Is there a therapy for people hear voices in which computer-generated avatars that look like people help patients externalize these voices? Huh. That's interesting. Never thought of that. The phrase, Nymphy, this too shall pass, has helped me so much. Unbelievable. You know what? It helped me. It's what you always tell yourself, and guess what? It's always true. Kirk Sullivan, I'm 54. Well, you probably did hear of Ed Sullivan. I'm 69. Stevie B, a lot of UK people. What is it right now? It's 8:30 in the UK. Lazy Eye Ranch, Louis Corrales, that sounds interesting. My son might be helped by that since he's very much into video games. All right, God, I need my legs. I need to go ahead and stretch my legs because I have what's called lymphedema in my leg. It's not to be good to be sitting too long for me. I need to put my feet up, but I can't really do that. I'll knock over the computer. Laugh out loud, Scott says, Nora Lilanita. I was going to say the same. It's been a while since I watched, but Douglas is always good for a laugh. Nora, are you in, what country are you from? You and I have corresponded by email. Speaking of email, remember, I will send you a free color version of this chart, 5 areas of therapeutic self-care, if you just email me. Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of psychologists here in Portland have used it in their practice. Will glass coffins be a success? Remains to be seen. Ha ha. I'm sorry I'm late. David Holden, I just mentioned you. I told you were the greatest patron I've ever had. And I'm still working on getting that book to you. Well, one Claire, are you still there? This is one Claire's joke. The man who invented throat lozenges recently died. These guys right here. These lozenges right here. The man who invented throat lozenges recently died. At the funeral, there was no coffin. I'll move this back. It'll get me a little bigger in the picture. How's that? I'm a little too small. Love your jokes being so unbeat. Shows there's hope. There's hope. Okay, Doug, take a deep breath. You're not 70 yet. You're in Canada, Nora. Yeah, I love Canada. I once tried going there when I was 23 at the border in Vancouver, and they busted me and held me for 3 hours for no reason. Anyway, what was my train of thought? I forgot. Oh, there's always hope, Marie. Absolutely. Didn't know about that. Well, that's what happens. My goat is so lazy, I've decided to call him Billy Idol. That's very cute. Harriet Harden, I've been dealing with depression and anxiety for 12 plus years and always come out of it on my own. But the doctor keeps trying to tell me the meds after I try them. Not quite sure about your English, but if you come out on your own, that's a good thing. Luis Corrales, tips for anxiety. Accept your diagnosis. You've got an upregulated autonomic nervous system. Luis, always on the money. Have you been to my video? Have you seen the video, How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain? Bob Street, I have none to help me. I have TBI, traumatic brain injury from an accident. My daughter, my mom, my family deserted me. Oh my God, I needed my daughter to help me. I can't do this alone. No, you're right, Bob. Nobody can do this alone. So where do you live? And if you live in America, there's an organization called, two organizations. One's called NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. The other is called DBSA, the Bipolar Depression Support Alliance. I'll write this down here. You should go to their website, and they will have. I keep bumping the computer. I'm sorry about that. You go to these two websites, nami.org. Okay, that's one website, and the other is called DBSA. I'm not quite sure what their website is, but if you just type that in Google, you'll find it. Anyway, those are two organizations that have free support groups in most cities, in many cities in America. Norland Williams says, I've been to Portland too. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been to. Just such gorgeous lampstakes. Yeah, like the Columbia Gorge. Can you downrate the autonomic nervous system? Of course you can. Susan, that's the whole point of my video, How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. That's the whole point of therapy. Breathing, meditation, exercise, medication, down-regulating the nervous system. Absolutely. Meditation does that all the time. Step number 2, seeing your symptoms as separate conditions. Stop treating your symptoms as the main problem. Well, it is a problem, but it's not who you really are. I agree with you. Stevie B, depression is caused by a lot of things, especially modern fast-paced life. Yes, I agree. I was watching a TED Talk on YouTube, and it said about 2,000 tribesmen interviewed, only one had depression. Hey, depression is a modern condition, but guess what? It still existed back in the olden days. The term melancholy comes from the Greek melancholia, black bile. So we know the Greeks had it, and it was not so fast-paced in 600 BC. So it's been around. It's always been around. It's part of the human condition. But yes, it's a lot worse now because modern life is so fast-paced and so fragmented, and there's so many people who are isolated. 3, stop researching your systems. Do not ask reassurance. Well, do not seek reassurance. Well, I agree, Louise. Don't investigate your symptoms on the internet. You're going to have a lot of horror stories. Rasmus, hey. Super late from Estonia, right? How's your repatriation going, or you don't want to repatriate? Lazy Irans, true story. I have a male goat whose neutering wasn't complete. Undescended testicle. He's half a buck now, so I named him 50 cents. It may or may not be true, but it's funny. Number 4, stop monitoring your symptoms. Hey, David. Hi, Rasmus. Nice to see you guys conversing. Beauty by Zara. Oh, my God. Hi, Mr. Block. I have a question. Why is anxiety so common nowadays, especially in younger people? Yes, it's a major problem. The New York Times did a big article on it. Is it due to increased use of technology? Yep. Too many people spending time on Facebook. I have a video called Is Facebook Making You Depressed? Also, young people in America, man, you can't buy a house. Work is, hard to find work, so there's a lot of external conditions that's creating that. Your mom. Hi, Doug. Better late than never. That's what I tell my physics teacher. David, Rasmus, nice that you're chatting with each other. Luis, 5, do nothing about your anxiety symptoms, carrying with daily activities in a mindful way. Well, that's what I said. Just observe them going by like clouds in the sky. It's going okay, thanks, says David Holden to Rasmus A. Hey, Doug, first time for me to join. Topo Jew. You can tell me how to pronounce your name. Yes, I agree. Job from Bible got depressed. Well, of course, look what happened to him. See, well, hey, my first time here, it just started. Well, good for you. There's over 250 videos on my channel. There's got to be something for everybody, so check it out. These tips are from Christine Young's anxiety recovery videos on YouTube. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. Christine, Y-E-O-N-G. Well, do I have a pen? Yes, I do. But the question is, do I have something to write on? That's more of a difficult question. I have a Post-it note. Okay, I'll write her down. It's true, Lazy Eye Ranch says he's cute and he's really a funny goat. I'll have to send you a pic. Okay, Christine, of course, guess what? This pen ran out. Yep, it's worthless. I just started taking Bustelo, very peaceful sleep. Good. Your mom, it doesn't work for everybody. When it works, it's great. Emil R. Hello, I have a question. When able to resist the major depression phase, is it common to fall back into past addictions? Oh yeah. Recovery is relapse is part of recovery. Everybody who's ever been addicted to anything like alcohol or heroin or Oxycontin or even cigarettes, people fall back. Even if I healed months or years ago, for example, smoking or sugar, any advice? Yeah, you just pick yourself up and get back on the wagon. That's all you can do. When you relapse or you have a dip, you just get back on the wagon, do what you're doing, and you don't berate yourself, you don't put yourself down, you don't curse yourself, you just move on, you give yourself compassion and get back on your feet. Rasmus say, David, not bad. I had to make a super difficult decision, but I did it and feel a lot better now, a bit better now. What was the decision, Rasmus say? Does it have to do with your country that you live in? Bob, I need my daughter to help me. I'm disabled. I have no way to do anything. Well, where do you live, Bob Street? There are social services in America. In Portland, there are governmental agencies that can help place you in assisted living where people can be around you. I agree. You can't stay isolated. You've got to reach out and find some help from some organizations. Even going to a, God forbid, a nursing home temporarily. Susan Jones, I found out the hard way that relapses are to be pretty much expected, or expected pretty much. Absolutely. I've had not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 relapses. There you go. And I have many dips. Like I have not been feeling very well the last 5 days, but now that I'm with you guys, I feel like $1,000,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me tell my jokes and hanging out. 13 minutes left until 50 minutes after the hour. Anybody else want to do a live chat? I really appreciate the Roxanne's donation. Susan Jones, I found out about, down-regulating your automatic nervous system happens very gradually over 2 to 3 months as you learn to change your frightened reaction to scary thoughts and symptoms. Not quite sure how frightened reaction turning to scary thoughts makes you down your autonomic nervous system, but I am going to look at Kristen Young. Lazy Ranch, I think I've become addicted to word puzzles, but I think it's a positive thing. It's my brain exercise, keeps my mind off trouble. Scriptograms are my favorites here. They're tough. Well, you're a smart gal, Lazy Eye Ranch. Do you have any ideas for alternative to meditation? Why would you want to have it? Do you mean medication? Meditation you don't want to have an alternative to. Meditation is one of the greatest things you could do for yourself. Patrick Cullen, your videos have kept me going these past weeks. Well, good for you. Well, keep it up. You will come out of this. This too shall pass. I'm telling you, everything is temporary in life. Hey, pretty soon we'll all be dead. That's what... You remember, who was that guy? John Maynard Keynes, the great British economist. They said, you can't do deficit spending. In the long run, you'll be too much in debt. He says, yeah, in the long run, you'll all be dead. That was one of his favorite quotes. Yes, so life is temporary. Let's enjoy it while we're here if we can. Is schizophrenia the worst mental illness, Doug? Yes, it is, my friend. It is a cruel disease, schizophrenia. Look, I may be depressed. I may be down. I may be feeling like I'm hopeless, but I don't believe that the government is having, wiretap my ceiling and is listening on these conversations. No, thought disorders are cruel, 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 because when people have them, they can't do squat. Oftentimes they end up in group homes for long periods of time. So it is a very cruel disease, and any parent who has a schizophrenic child, God bless them. Loose crawlers, yes, but then something triggers me back. Nymphy, about how much dollars per streaming session would you have to earn in order for this to become 1 hour every day? $50? Yeah, $50 a day would be great. I mean, that would be awesome. But I can't do this every day. It's just too much time, and I have so many things. I have run 2 groups. I do coaching. I'm working on making new videos. I have a book I'm writing. So I do this once every other week just to stay in touch with you and for you to stay in touch with each other. But yeah, hey, if you want to send me $50 a day, Nymphy, I'll do these things every day. Absolutely. All right, Stevie B. But thank you for asking. I've recently taken up painting from watching Bob Ross. The joy of painting, the accomplishment from painting has boosted my self-accomplishment, diverted my thoughts. Hobbies help. Hobbies are essential. Absolutely. A friend of mine who's in relapse and depression, he does watercolors. I'm going to put this right here. Hobbies are great. I like solving chess problems with my best friend from New York. So I don't know how you do it. An exclamation point here. There we go. Hobbies are great, yes. And painting, that's what, Winston Churchill did. He had the black dog depression. Whenever he couldn't handle it, he just went out in the garden and did watercolors. Creative expression, music especially. We have a guy in my group. One of my groups is a musician. That helps. Painting, drawing, writing, journaling, gardening is great. All these things take your mind off your thoughts, put them into something constructive, and get you involved. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody should have a hobby. Choms. Making people laugh is the best medicine for me. It helps me forget all the darkness in my head. Wow. We're having a lot of comments here. I got to go back and read your comment here so I can see it. I call it Pagilisi syndrome after the pressed crown. Well, I don't know who he is, but after I got to know that I won't be staying in Estonia, I started seeing everything that is not related to funding my country as a distraction. So I changed it for now. Good for you. The Fruit Dude. I would like to have an alternative to meditation because it causes me depersonalization. I see. You're right. You're right. If you're schizophrenic or have that problem when you go into your mind, yeah, now I can understand why it's a bad thing. Well, I would say running, cycling, jogging, intense exercise. Nymphy, currently my academic situation is really bad to even do a one-time donation, but expect to donate from me sometime in the future. You've helped me a lot. Thank you for your videos. Well, again, Nymphy, you can always use PayPal, douglasbach@gmail.com, or you can come back here and do a super chat, or you can become a patron for only $2 a month. Can you afford $2 a month? If so, well, I can't find it. I had a Patreon page somewhere here. Well, yaha. Here we go. www.patreon.com/DouglasBlock. I really need some new patrons. I know I haven't really promoted it recently, but that would be a really good thing to do to become a sustaining member. And you can start at just $2 a month. Luis, Susan, triggers and setbacks are normal, except that you aren't going to feel great for a few days. Absolutely. 42 minutes into the hour. What is the mental condition? It's almost impossible to be alone. Problems with sleeping. Yeah, well, a lot of people with depression have insomnia. There are medications that are non-addictive. Amitriptyline, Remeron, trazodone, melatonin. So if you're having sleeping, you need to address that. Having a problem being alone, well, if you live alone, that can be isolating. But a certain amount of aloneness is important, but if it's too much, it can overwhelm you. Do you have people you're living with? Vigandas P. Lazy Eye Ranch. Okay, she is going ahead and giving her response. I agree about schizophrenia. I'm terrified for my son. It's heartbreaking to hear him crying and growling. He's literally being tortured by these entities that won't leave him alone. Oh my God, that is the worst. I mean, that nobody should have to go through that. I mean, maybe in some cases in that situation, death is better. I don't know, but he really needs to be under supervision, Lazy Eye Ranch. I mean, for your son's sake, maybe you should move to a place where he can get that kind of help. I mean, my godson for years lived in a group home with schizophrenic males. And, they were monitored, they were given their medication, they were taken care of, they're still there. I mean, but they can go outside in outings. I mean, at least it's some life. But nobody should have to suffer like that. Maurice Hayes, got to run. Thank you for helping others. I am grateful for finding you. You will be buying books and sending donations. Well, thank you very much, Marie Hayes. It's a beautiful name, isn't it, Marie? And here's the book she was referring to, Healing from Depression, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. So available everywhere online and in bookstores. Roxana, thank you again for your donation. I'm learning to play the piano. I'm just a beginner. I'm from UK, England. Yeah, piano is a great. I love the piano. My cousin was a piano player. He used to come over and babysit for me and play Rhapsody in Blue. Obviously, he was an accomplished, not a prodigy, but to be able to do that at 12 years old, that's pretty damn good. He's now retired and is giving concerts in New York City. His name is John Corwin, if you're ever in New York. Luis Corrales says, Vigandas. That sounds like anxiety. Yes, Chom, so true, says Curry. Hi, Tony, I'm thinking about setting up a suicide group, but I don't know if I'll be meeting a dead end. Oh my God. Dark. Keep it up, Roxana. The piano is a beautiful instrument to learn to play. Yes, David Holden, you're absolutely correct. It's a beautiful instrument. Pearly Bonda, oh my goodness, a blast from the past. How's it going? Did you ever get married again? Are you still living in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Have you talked to Danielle Kate, who doesn't show up anymore? She's taking care of an older lady with Alzheimer's, but she could still check in. Aw, thanks, David. I'm from Manchester. Just down the road from Liverpool. Okay, you guys, come on. Call each other. Give each other phone numbers. Check in with email in between live chats. It's all about community. It's all about joining together. It's all about healing and community. That's the way healing from depression happens. So I think you guys should stay in contact, really. Sounds like a wonderful idea to me. That's why I run support groups, because people always do better supporting each other than they do by themselves. Remember the old saying, 2 heads are better than one? Well, it's absolutely true. Lazy Eye Ranch, one of my favorite contributors. Last night I went to a Halloween party, won first place in the pumpkin coloring contest. Such a silly thing, but it felt good. I've quit being creative years ago. That needs to change. Absolutely. Creativity is a huge, huge antidote to depression. Oh my goodness. And look at all the creative artists who've been depressed. The poets, the writers, the painters, the musicians. It runs with creative people. Nymphi, schizophrenia is curable? No. It's treatable but not curable. Although John Nash, It's a Beautiful Mind, grew out of it when he was in his 50s. But most of the time, schizophrenics don't get cured. But hey, John Nash did. Has anyone ever seen the film It's a Beautiful Mind? He came out of it after 30 years. So don't let me say it's not curable. People do have remissions. There are miracles, but it's tough. It's a tough thing to treat, for sure. Rosman said, it feels much better taking steps towards finding my home. After that, I will go back to psychology, but first I need to get back to normal. What's the best way to break out of cycles of bad sleep? There are many things you could do. I have a video on it, but go to sleep at the same time every night. Maybe you can take melatonin a couple hours before, or take a medication. Make sure you exercise during the day. That helps you sleep. Don't drink alcohol. There's a whole thing called, I'll type it out here, it's called sleep hygiene. Well, about 5 minutes left. I'm hoping somebody else makes a live chat donation. Sleep hygiene, there it is. Look that up on the internet. Christine Youngs, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to write it down right after here. For that, panic attacks that seem to start in the diaphragm out of the blue, they're so fast and hard to manage. Well, there are, but I did a video on it, and there's a lot of help in managing panic attacks. The most thing to do is to observe what's going on, don't grab onto it, and try to just stay as a neutral witness if you can. Now, I believe that medication can be helpful. When I had out-of-control anxiety attacks in 96, 97, when I was hitting my head back and forth, I took a 0.5 milligram of Klonopin. It chilled me right out. Not every day, but every now and then, and that's not addicting. So, unlike some psychiatrists, I believe that benzos have their place, but always to be taken under supervision and always, under the agreement of a psychiatrist or nurse practitioner or even medical doctor. But yeah, when panic attacks descend upon you like that, they can really throw you off. You're absolutely correct. All right, Chom Chom's Pagli's story quickly is the man goes to see a doctor because he's depressed. The doctor tells the man to go use Paglione on the crown to cheer up. The man breaks into the fears and says he is Paglione. Pagliaccelli. That's a beautiful story. Pagliacci, maybe that's how you pronounce it in Italian. But yeah, there's a song by Little Anthony in the Miracles, or Smokey Robinson in the Miracles, Tears of a Clown. Yeah, a lot of comedians are depressed. Look at Robin Williams, look at Woody Allen, look at, what's his guy, the African-American guy who smoked freebase. I'm blocking his name. You'll remember, somebody remember, he was a genius. Yeah, a lot of these people have underlying depression, absolutely. So yeah, that's a beautiful story, by the way. Thank you for sharing that with me. Why can't I remember his name? Come on, somebody. Someone from America. Who is that guy? He broke new ground. He was brilliant. I'm going to go look this at my iPhone, if nobody can tell me who that comedian was. Richard somebody other. Nice to chat, David. Yes, Liverpool is not too far, an hour away. Well, come on, Roxanne and David, exchange phone numbers or email addresses. Luis, thanks for the encouragement. Yes. Richard Pryor, no. Is it Richard Pryor? I think so. Cesar Rodriguez, I excessively think too much. I'm always in my head thinking about something. Does stuff like this lead to anxiety? Absolutely. You got to get out of your head, into your body, breathe, run, jump, distraction. But, you know, take a yoga class, do something to get you into your body. Not married yet. I'm 11 weeks pregnant. I'm in a very bad GAD depression. And DP, nope, I don't talk to her no more. Why not? She's a really nice person. And you're pregnant. Wow. Bob Street, I see you're really struggling. And as I mentioned, you can write to NAMI. You can go to NAMI.org or DBSA, or check out in your community. There are low-cost mental health resources. You've got to reach out for help. Honor, do you have any advice on how to deal with family members who are physically abusive? Well, you need to get out of there. If it's, I mean, if that's, or if you're young, you need to call Child Protective Services. But yeah, no, you shouldn't have to take that. That's obviously not okay. Luther Cameron, James D, early morning light to reset your circadian rhythm. Absolutely. Go to the bed same time every day. Absolutely. Get up at the same time. Absolutely. No tech, 90 minutes before bed. Ruth, you know your stuff. That is good sleep hygiene. Stevie B, joke. I went to the doctor's office with a lettuce stuck out my bun. He said it's worse than I thought. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, that's cute. I don't know about lettuce stuck off my bun. That's pretty gross. But maybe we can find some of the metaphor. Susan Joe says to Bob Street, get help. You like that? That's the tip of the iceberg. A Beautiful Mind's on Netflix right now. Do you think it would be helpful for my son to watch this movie? Absolutely. That might trigger him. Tell him that, you know, there's going to be some pretty, you know, intense scenes of people hallucinating, but he does get healed. I seen a video on YouTube done by John Nash. I think that was his name. Yeah. No, he's a brilliant person. Absolutely. Too funny. I like that one, but it ain't right in my head. Tried and tested. Went through off a sleep patch. Has been resolved now, thankfully. How much melatonin you recognize? I think you get a bottle at standard. I forget what it is. Might be 300 milligrams. I'm not sure. What is worse, schizophrenia or extreme OCD? Schizophrenia by far. Start with melatonin. See if it works for you. Many people hear voices often become psychics or shamans in other cultures. Yes, that is true. That is true. But here in America, it's very different. Thanks, Kirk. You're welcome. Richard Pryor, that's what I said. That's the guy who was the great comedian who had his bouts of depression. Headspace is a good app. Yes, with the thoughts. Very nice. Louis Corrales. Look up Claire Weeks on here. She's very good, from Australia. Will do. I like your joke, Lazy Ranch. I'm not going to have it come on to be seen because it might trigger some people, but it's a very good pun. Luis Corrales, and sensitize the nervous system, magnetize the thoughts and emotions, otherwise mind, physical symptom can feel unbearable. Yes, absolutely. So here's my final joke. Yeah, I have a coaching appointment in 5 minutes. Okay, so here's my final joke. A man goes to a doctor. Doctor says, "You've got 6 months to live. I'm sorry." After 6 months, the patient can't pay his bill, so the doctor says, "Well, I'll give you another 6 months." And there you have it, right from the board spelt. Veggie metal, I like that as opposed to heavy metal. Well, anybody have a final joke? Here's my final word to everybody. Sent to me by Julie Hayes from Buffalo, New York. And still I rise. There it is right there. Whoops. The phoenix rising from the ashes. There we go. That better? Yeah. I don't care what kind of hell you're in. You can rise out of it and resurrect. Why do good mathers take good dancers? Because they have algorithm. That's all right. Send me some more, Lazy Eye. Send me some nice clean ones. All right. Remember, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall because he had a terrible summer. I'm hoping to have a great fall and come out of this illness. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I'm going to do a video on, post a video on October 22nd about pleasure and how too much pleasure can be a bad thing. Joe Herder, nice that you're here. Luis Corrales, scary thoughts can appear out of nowhere in a sensitized person. A new mother may have thoughts of accidentally hurting her child. Sends her down a spiral. Yes, that's called postpartum depression. Thank you, Luis. Your comments are always welcome. Patty Brady, nice to see you. I'm saying goodbye. Better late than never. 2 fish in a tank. First fish says to the second, do you know how to drive this thing? Not quite sure what that means. My dad was a scientist who loved puns. Well, there you have it, Lazy Eye Ranch. That algorithm. Yeah, I'll tell that to my math student. In the meantime, I wish you guys a great 2 weeks. Look at my video on hopelessness that was just posted. Look at all my recent videos. Look at the video that says depression lies about the future. Absolutely. It tells you things that are not true. You will get well. You can get well with support, with the right tools. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. If anybody wants to give me a donation using PayPal, DouglasBlock at freemail.com. If anybody wants a copy of that chart, please email me. And the video is Peace from Nervous Suffering. That sounds like, is that Claire Weeks? Sounds like it. Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody in the West Coast. Kerry, I love you people from the UK. I'll visit you sometime. And again, David Holden and is it Roxanne? The two of you who live an hour away, stay in contact. All right. See everybody in 2 weeks and keep fighting. Absolutely. Never give up. Never give up. Never